I think everybody needs role models or people to mimic after. And I think much of our life today may not necessarily be somebody that's the role models that you choose may not be necessarily somebody that's present in your life in terms of physical life, but it might be other people that you see online or, on television, any number of different sort of outlets. And they set the standard of who you would want to be like and the sort of imaginary thing. Now, of what people should be in your mind and how they interact. Now, it's really fascinating for me because a lot of the folks, particularly in my domain where I talk about business, um, or talk about success or whatever, they're all I'm just laid out. They're so douchey. They're like these people that are all jacked up, that you could tell that they're all on steroids, typically men. And they're all talking about how they get up at 4 a.m. and work out, and then they work until 10 o'clock at night, like all of this sort of douchey masculinity stuff that really does not fit most people. In fact, probably they don't even abide by all of that, and it's just for show, right? Like flying on the private jets and having champagne. By the way, those are like completely opposing to each other if you haven't realized it, right? You do not get jacked up unless you're taking steroids. You don't get jacked up um, unless you're working out all of the time. And as soon as you have champagne and flying on a private jet, man, you do get chubby. Um, like it definitely does happen, and yet we can't reconcile these things in our head, right? We can't see that these things are just made up fictions that they're playing, and they're very, very just not real people. And I want you to sort of think about that. What does it mean to be a real person? How does that look like in your mind? And the leaders that you choose or the mentors or role models that you choose to pay attention to, I want you to really take a deep dive in terms of what it is that's going on. Are they actually telling you about all of the warts that are going on in their life? Are they telling you the stories of, man, this did not work out for me? So I'm going to tell you this for all of us. The success ratio, even if you take something that's very generic, right? Like I often think in terms of click through rates because I know that now I've seen these numbers. Click through rates on the internet, if you're doing really, really spectacularly well, they're about 5%. So what does that mean? That means 95% of the people, 95 times, you fail. It doesn't work out. And this is normal for learning. This is normal for all patterns of your life that you should try something repeatedly over and over and over again and get 95% of the time that you fail. And yet the message that's being sold often, if you look at it, is that that doesn't happen. And so I want you to 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 feel that, right? Like I want you to know that it is totally, totally normal to go through these things. It's totally normal to like not have any time for anything, right? Like this morning I was just lamenting with my wife. It's like we just don't have time in our house. We've got like things going on, people going to different you know different events, different things, and all of us, even when we have a helper, we have a driver in our family that will drive, um, people to different things. Even with that, and we have a cleaner, we're still like, it's still chaotic, and we still nothing seems to work out. Um, that there's, and I'm not lamenting any of this. This is like first world problems, right? Like the fact that we have a cleaner in our house. I cleaned our house for years. My wife and I cleaned our house for years. I think it wasn't only until a few years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, that we finally got a cleaner. And we were both making a very good wage, but we were, saving to pay off our house. Um, but all of the stuff go to tell you is that the stuff that goes on in your life is very real. And I want you to sort of embrace that as the realness. I don't want you to wallow in it, but I want you to know that this is what genuine life looks like, is that there is no pattern, right? There is a pattern, but it's messier and all get out. And you never feel like the right thing. Um, the models of what you're going to look like, you're going to be an ordinary looking person, right? Unless you are that one fortunate person that, that you were born into beauty. And I really do think that there's a lot of people that are born into beauty. Um, And all of that, for the most part, even those people, they have to face all sorts of unusual things that are just everydayness, right? Like a beautiful person, for example, um, they have to be the person that rejects other people repeatedly. And they have to have, like, there's creepy people that are, looking at them, all of those kind of things that are like, oh, I don't have to deal with this on every day. But that is what normal things happen and what it looks like. It's a mess, and nothing ever seems to work out. I just want you to know, whenever you start feeling behind, or you start feeling like you're not fitting in, or you're not feeling like your life is not put together, I want you to realize that that is what real people do. And that's real stuff. That is what it means to be normal in most of our lives. And if you only do an hour's worth of work in a given day, you're actually probably well above average. Um, I want you to sort of know that is that things are not what they perceive to be. How you understand the world and what the messaging that is sold to you is often not what is going on. And I want you to know that you're doing okay. You are at a moment in time that you are just doing okay. And the craziness, the messiness of life happens to us all. And I want you to take a step back and realize that um, you are a damn good person. That your life, despite the fact that there's all this chaos going on, you're doing the best that you can. You have a good intention to do good things today. I want you to remember that as much as you possibly can. It may not work out. You may not get that workout. You may not, you may not be able to eat healthy, all of those kind of things. And it may not be the day, but you try again tomorrow. And you just keep doing that day in and day out. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.